Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today I'm excited to show you a new product that I just purchased last week and it came in yesterday. I couldn't wait to show it to you. Now, as you know, I use the UDPower product on multiple videos that I do. It's an external power source. If you needed to turn the power off in your house while you're working, you can power up your work lights, or you could power up wherever you're working. If the power goes down, you can run a fan or whatever. But this baby is a game changer. This one actually is 12. This one, just so you know, it's called the C500. This one's a much smaller unit than this one here, as you can tell in the picture here. This one is good for small applications and small items. This one is good to power up multiple items. If you needed to run a small mini fridge, if you need to run a sump pump, which is super important where I am. This is now getting into hurricane season right here, and being prepared for a hurricane is better than trying to do something after the hurricane is hit and you have no power and your basement is flooding. As you know, the basement, or maybe you don't know, but the basement here is actually 8 feet underground. And it has, which around it is called a sump around the outside of the pump itself. The water from the outside perimeter of the house goes into that sump, and if the power was to turn off, both my primary and my secondary pump would fail and the basement would flood. How do I know this? Because I've seen it happen many, many times, and it's not going to happen to me this year. This unit here will be a game changer. This you could plug your sump pump in and you could run it for an extended period of time, depending on how often the pump cycles on and off, on and off. That'll tell you how long it'll run. But this should run for days without a problem powering up that sump pump. The sump pump is only a 1/3 horsepower, so it does not draw a lot of power, but it actually goes on and off multiple times within a couple of minutes to pump the water out of the house. This one here, as I said, this is called the S1200, which means it's the battery itself. The battery is 1191 watt hours, so it's actually a 1200 watt capability, but it also has a surge of up to 1800 watts. As you know, whenever anything turns on, such as a refrigerator, a power tool, or even like a hedge trimmer, or even the sump pump, they have that initial surge where they draw a lot of power, and then the power drops down as it's running. It doesn't really use as much wattage as it is to get the pump started or get the refrigerator started or whatever. All right, so let me show you some of the stuff this can do, and then I'm going to turn on the small fridge that I have here. I'm going to bring out a couple of power tools, and we're going to see if it can handle the refrigerator as well as the power tools at the same time. I'm confident it's going to work perfectly. All right, so let me bring in, I'm going to show you the features on this, and then we'll explain how everything works, and then we're going to actually get it in there and use it. All right, so let me zoom you in so you can see what I'm doing. This is the unit here itself. To turn the unit on, you just press this button and release it. That's it. This will power up, and it'll go through a whole systems check to make sure that everything is charged up the way it's supposed to be. Now, I did charge this up yesterday when it came in, and as you can see, it's 100% charged right now. There's no drawer on it. This is normal for this light to stay on for just a couple of seconds, and then it turns off. It goes into what's called a hibernation mode so that it doesn't use up unwanted power. Now, if you wanted to turn on the outlets down here to run the refrigerator, you would just come over here, press this button, release it, and it turns on just like that. Okay? Now, if you wanted to do anything as far as a solar input to charge it from the solar panel, that would be right in here. You connect the solar panel in here, and you could charge it right through the solar panel. Now, when you're using any of these have the USB in here. You have the regular USB-A. You have 3 USB-A, and you have the USB-Cs right up here as well. You have 4 USB-As, and you have 2 USB-Cs right here. Okay, you also have this right here, where you can charge this unit while you're in your car driving. You can charge this unit up. Okay, to turn on these lights right here, you just hold this, hold it for a second, and it lights up. Hold it again, and they go brighter. And then the third time, and it's the brightest, and then you press it again, and it goes back to the lower setting, like that. Now if you wanted to have something called SOS, you would just press it and hold it, and it goes into what's called the SOS mode. 3 dots, 3 dashes, 3 dots, 3 dashes, and so on. It just continues flashing like that. And with the SOS flashing like this, it tells me here, it'll run, if you look here, it'll run for 99.9 hours with just the SOS flashing right here. Okay, and then to turn the SOS off, you just press it and release it, and that's it. To charge the unit up, it does come with the cables that comes provided, like this. You get your regular household plug, like this, that comes with it. And basically what you would do, turn the unit around, you plug it right into the back of the unit, like that, and you plug this into an electrical outlet in your house. Okay? If you wanted to charge it from a solar in, you can also do it in the back over here to charge through a solar panel as well. Okay, let's turn this around. One other thing I want to point out to you, when you want to shut this off, what you would do is just press this and hold it for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. You'll notice this light will start to flash. See how it flashes? The unit is now shutting down, and that's it. The unit will be turned off, and you don't have to worry about using any of the electricity while you're not using it. One other thing I want to point out to you as well, on top of the unit right here, it's a charging disc that you can charge your cell phone or whatever wirelessly. Let me give you an idea of how that works. We're going to turn the unit on. Okay, we'll let that power up. Let me grab my cell phone. To get this charging, wireless charging to light up, you come up here where's the USB ports, and you turn this on, press it and release it, and now that turns on all of these outlets here and the charging port up on top. We'll put the phone on, and within a second or two, you heard the phone click, so it's actually charging just the way it's supposed to. All right, to turn it off, you just press it and release it again, just like that. And now that plate here is off, the wireless charging is off, and everything here is turned off as well. Now, let me just show you some other things here. It does come with this unit right here that you can plug in like this into the unit here. You plug it in here, and then this goes into your cigarette lighter or your accessory port in your automobile, so you can charge this while you're driving to or from your destination, especially if you're doing any outdoors camping or whatever. As you're driving to your campsite, you can charge the unit up 100%. I will tell you this, when you're charging it up, make sure that the unit is turned off. So if you hold it for 3 to 5 seconds, it'll blink, and now the unit is shutting down, and now it's safe to charge this in your car while you're driving. Everything is off, so we're in good shape. Plug it into your accessory port in your car, and you can charge up while you're driving someplace. And of course, this over here would be a port here where you've had to plug in some kind of an accessory into here, some type of a charging system or whatever you needed to plug into it. If it plugs into your automobile, you can plug it into here as well. Again, to power up that port right there, you just turn this on right here. All right, and the rest of the USB-C and the USB-A, you know how they work, and that's it. But the thing that everybody wants to know is, if you plug these in, will it work a mini fridge? All right, so let's go over, and we're going to take the cable and we're going to plug it in. Before we go over to the refrigerator, I just wanted to mention to you that the S1200, it's a portable power station. It carries a 3-year warranty on the product itself, which is a really good warranty. This also is capable of powering up the heat in your house. Not electric heat, but it'll be able to run any kind of like a gas-powered heat, where you have to run the blower motor in order to produce heat. So I just wanted to mention that to you. Okay, so that's the fridge. Here is the extension cord. Let's walk over to the plug power unit. We'll plug it in. So let's turn you around so you can see what we're doing. Plug. We're going to turn the unit on. Let go. Let it power up. Once everything is powered up and stabilized, come down over here to this side right here. We then turn all of these outlets on with one button, press it and release it, and now all of these outlets are live. All right, let me just show you one thing real quick while you're there. We have 119 volts right here. You can see that. Let me zoom you in so you see it. 119 volts. Okay? And that's on all the outlets. They're all live right now. All right, so let's take this out. And let's plug this in, and we'll see what happens with our fridge. We'll plug it in. I'm going to turn you around so you can see. And while we're talking, I'm going to see if that temperature in this fridge goes down. Right now, you can see right now it's at 64 degrees. So now we'll let that run for a little bit, and we'll come back and we'll see that temperature start to go down. Okay? So we're going to leave that plugged in while we talk a little bit more. Okay, so we have that plugged in. But will that work while the refrigerator is plugged in? Will this unit work while powering up a power tool? That is my chop saw. And we're going to try plugging that in, and we're going to see if that works at the same time. Plug our chop saw in. Just like that. And let's see if it works. Alright, so we see the chop saw works. Next, we're going to really give it a grueling test. We're going to take our floodlights that we have here, and we're going to plug our floodlights in at the same time that we have the saw running. So let's do that. I hope you can see this okay. All right, next we'll take our floodlight, plug our floodlights in as well. All right, floodlights in. Let's turn it on. That's one, and that's two. And let's see what it's saying here. That's it. All right, let's turn these lights out. Okay, so as you can see, it's got plenty of power. As I told you, it's a 1191 watt-hour battery that's in here, which means it's capable of putting out 1200 watts, and the 1800 watts is surge. As I explained about the surge, when an item goes on, it has the ability to handle that excess drain of power from the unit itself while the pump initially turns on. All right, but let's go down to the basement. Let's plug it into the sump pump, and let's see how it works on the sump pump, which is really the reason that I purchased this. All right, so one other thing before I go downstairs, I just want to tell you, if you have an external plug, an external supply for a generator, you can take your plug from the generator and plug it right in here and power up to 1800 watts in your house. I know it can handle the 1200 watts, sustained 1200, but the surge would be the 1800. All right, so let's bring this down to the basement. Let's plug it into the sump pump and see how it works on the sump pump. All right. Okay, and this is what we did down in the basement for the sump pump itself. We just take it and plug it into the unit. The unit is on, and we just take the plug out of the outlet right there and plug that out, that electrical cord, into our, and now when the water comes up to a certain level here, that pump will turn on and we'll hear that sump pump running. Okay, let's not wait for the pump to turn on. Let's turn it on ourselves. We just lift this arm up right here. And that's it. You can hear the pump is running. Okay. And it lowered the water level down to an acceptable level, and we'll be in good shape. And now as the water comes up again, that pump will just turn on. So let's let the water rise up, and I'll show you one more time. Okay, well, it's going to be a while before the water comes up because it's coming up very slowly, but you get the idea. Once that comes up, activates that pump, That pump then gets its power supply through this unit right here. And as I said, this is the S1200. Now this unit doesn't draw any current while it's plugged in here and waiting for that pump to activate. It's just sitting here just waiting to be used. It goes into what's called a hibernation mode, and you can wake it up just by pressing it just like that. Okay? So while it's in the standby mode, if the sump pump requires any power, it has the power go into this unit here. All right, so that's the S1200. As I told you, it does come with the book, and the book has all of the details in it. You could even change the frequency of the AC power if you needed to. In the United States, there's no need to, because 99% of everything out there runs on that. I think it's like a 60 HC, which comes preset from the factory on this particular unit here. But it does give you all of the details inside here, how to use it, how to use the turbo, how to use the eco mode, all that kind of stuff. It's all covered inside the book here itself. So I am anxious to use this, and we'll see how it works out this hurricane season for us. Now this, under an extended use, of course it will need to be charged up, so you may have to charge it up with a solar panel, or you can charge it up in your vehicle as you're driving to or from, in the event of an event where you have power out for several days or a week or whatever. Here we had a bad storm come through here a couple of years back, and we lost power for a week, which it's a pain in the rear end, because everything in your house, you know, runs by the electricity. And even if you have a regular gas powered generator, where are you going to get gas for it? You have to find a gas station close to you that's got the gasoline, so you can keep your pump, your generator running. In this case here, just keep it charged up, and when you need it, you can plug it in immediately, and you got power instantly. No more pulling the cord or anything like that. The best part about this, a generator needs to be outside your house because it runs on gasoline. Of course, the fumes will ultimately kill you if it's done in your house. This, you can use it in your house. You don't have to worry about it putting off any fumes or anything like that. This unit here puts off no fumes whatsoever. Even when it's running right now, you can't even hear this thing running, even though it is. Speaking of running, let me show you what's going on with that refrigerator over there. I'm looking from here and I see it says 51 degrees, so I'm sure that that this unit is doing a very good job on bringing down that temperature in that small mini fridge. It'll also work on a regular full-size fridge or freezer, but I didn't want to pull out a freezer or refrigerator to plug it in to show you how it works. The mini fridge does the exact same thing. The compressor on there is just a little bit smaller than a compressor on your regular household refrigerator. And I'm not talking about these big monster refrigerators. I'm talking about a standard refrigerator that most people have in their house. But that's it. I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know how this unit performs throughout this hurricane season for me. All right, but that's it. This unit, I'm still going to use it. It comes in very handy for small jobs, but if I have a big job and I need extra power, this is going to be my go-to unit all the time, and you'll see it in multiple videos that I do from this point on. I get this email all the time. What does UDPower mean? UDPower stands for Ultra Durable Power. That's what UDPower means. All right, this one is the C500. I think they rebranded this to a C400 because of the battery capability, and this one is called the S1200. I will put both of these in my Amazon store below. Check it out and see if it suits your needs. I'm very happy with this so far, but we'll see how it goes. Just so you know, anything purchased from my Amazon store, I do make a small commission, and I just want to let you know about that. This unit here was not sent to me for free. I purchased this on Amazon. I paid $549, if I'm not mistaken. All right, I'll keep you posted and let you know how this works out for me in the future videos and any kind of jobs I'm going to do. I have a job I'm going to be doing at another house. I have to trim some hedges, and we're going to take this along with us, and we're going to see if we can trim the hedges using a hedge trimmer, an extension cord, and this baby right here. But stay tuned. All right, so that's the unit, and you see what it can do. I did not cover everything. Everything is in this book here. If you need any further information, you can shoot me an email. I'll be more than happy to tell you anything you need to know. But I'll put the link down below so you can check it out and read all the information on the Amazon website. For peace of mind for myself and my family, that's why I bought this unit here. I do have a generator, but if I'm not here, my wife and my kids would not be able to start the generator to actually power up everything in the house. So this would be perfect to power everything up in the house, so I don't have to worry about the basement flooding or them sitting in the dark. You can plug anything into here that you need to. You can plug any kind of a light. Anything that goes on 110 volts in your house, you can plug it into here and it'll work on this unit here itself. As you see, it does have 5 plugs in here, so you can use 5 different things at once on here. The other thing I will tell you is it will also run a fan, and this unit would run the fan for days before the battery pack would die in here. And the reason I know that is because I've used the other unit itself to power a fan for an extended period of time, and that one is only 400 watts, where this one here is 1200 watts with the 1800 watt surge capability. All right, but that's it. I'll put the link below. Check it out. If it suits your needs, let me know what you think about it. All right, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on my next one.